Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. What do you do when you really, really want something, but you've just got no idea how it's going to happen, how it's going to come to fruition? It's just bewildering you. In this video, we're going to go through the hacks that put you ahead of the game. We'll cover real life examples of this being put into practice and the game-changing things that happened. And we'll share action steps, things that you can put into practice straight away to transform your life and what you are accomplishing and enjoying every day. So I've found we get what we think about. We get what we believe. Our mind, our body, our spirit, our whole being, it's programmed towards what we are thinking and what we are believing. It's not something that we necessarily do consciously. It just happens automatically. So some would say it's out of our control. Well, maybe it is. However, there's things that we can do on a regular basis that assist, that actually help us to break through that and to reprogram our mind, our body, our spirit, our energy, our intention, and what's happening in life. So yes, we can't control everything, but there are some things we can control. So what are we allowing into our life? What are we acting on mentally, physically? How are we reprogramming or reinforcing what we want instead of what we don't want? Now, I've found that when I'm stressed, when I'm scared, when I'm fearful, when I'm overwhelmed, nothing makes sense, right? My brain, my body, everything is so overwhelmed that I actually cannot think straight. I cannot make decisions. I know what I want sometimes, but most of the time I'm just in this confused state. It's like I'm struggling. I feel like I'm like in a boat, but it's like I'm rowing backwards or something. I just feel in such a confused state that I just don't know what to do. So we do need to be in a relaxed state in order to transform and to have our dreams being fulfilled, in order to see things more clearly and to be able to make decisions and act upon them. And decision making is so powerful. For the last few weeks, I've been overwhelmed and just beside myself, like just in this confused state, and it's been waking me up at night as well, because I've known I want to go interstate to see my family, but I haven't known how to do that. Like, when can it happen? How can it happen? Just all of it. It's just been it's a health situation that I'm dealing with, and it's just overwhelmed me, to the point where I just cannot think straight and I cannot work out what to do. It keeps me awake at night. I'm just, really, really confused. And ultimately, I just didn't know what decision to make. But in the middle of the night last night, ideas came to me. So I was awake for hours, which is not a good thing for my health, but solution came. So different ideas came into my head. I got to think about them clearly, because I wasn't during the day, trying to do all these other things instead. I got to think about them clearly. I researched a few different options, and then I made a decision. Then I went back to sleep for a few hours. And when I woke up this morning, I got onto it. And it's taken quite a bit of time, lots of research. There's, it's nearly school holidays, so it's really short notice until I want to do the bookings. Thankfully I have the money to just book what we want to book, and we've got the time to do it during school holidays, so there's some flexibility there. But the thing is, I feel so good because I've actually finally made a decision about where we're going, when we're going, how we're doing it, all of that. So the key thing that helped me is focusing on what do I want, instead of thinking about all the things of what I don't want, because that's what I kept thinking about. Oh, I don't want to fly here, and I don't want to be waiting there, and I don't want to be traveling there, and I just kept thinking about all the things I didn't want. So the stress of all of that is what was getting to me, that I couldn't move forward. So it means I started thinking to myself, hang on, what do I want? So I want to see my family. I also want to have a holiday at the same time. I don't want to fly, so that means I'll come up with other solutions, but I want it to be enjoyable. I want it to be stress-free. So I just got clear on what do I want. And then once I'd determined that, I could then work out a plan, and it all came together very nicely. I also had this happen when I was choosing a home-based business. I got very clear on what I wanted. I knew what I didn't want, I knew what I wanted, and I kept looking until I found something that I wanted. So I knew I wanted it to be from home, part-time, flexible so I could still be a full-time mum. I wanted to be earning 6 figures. I wasn't willing to put in time for something that didn't earn me 6 figures and replace my corporate income. I wanted it to be something that I believe in, that I agree with, that I like the ethics and the people, something I could trust. I knew I didn't want it to be multi-level marketing or anything like that. I knew I didn't want it to overtake my life. I knew I wanted the return on investment and profit figures to stack up. So there's lots of different things. I've got other videos on it, but I just got very clear on what I want. The solution has got to be out there somewhere. So I'm going to keep looking until I find something that ticks my boxes, something that I want, so I can set up my life how I choose. And that's what I've done. And I help others do the same. In my home-based business, I've had 50K profit months. That came about because I focused on what I wanted. Really, really clear, this is what I want. Okay, what is holding me back from achieving it? I knew it was myself. I knew it was my mind, my limiting beliefs, the self-sabotage, the fears, the doubts. So I knew what I wanted. I then looked at what was holding me back and I went through steps to transform that, to break through that. Again, that's in other videos. So go to my channel. You'll see videos there on breaking through in life, transforming, absolutely breaking through the big things that have been holding you back. There's information on online business, home-based business, how to choose a business, how to be the entrepreneur of your life. Make sure you subscribe so that you get notified every Monday when there's a new video. So with my 50K months, once I actually got to the point of knowing it and believing it, and there was no counter-intention, it happened within 6 weeks of me making the decision. And as you can imagine, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. But there's certain things that I did to achieve that, to break through into the life that I wanted. So I looked at what my thoughts were, what my feelings and emotions were. I looked at how I was speaking. I looked at what was I playing in my mind. What are the mind movies in my mind? We choose every minute of the day what we think, what we speak, and the movies that we're playing. And our mind and our body acts on those words and those movies. Just remember to flick the switch and then change it. Now, you might need to do this hundreds of times a day, but it's you and only you that can reprogram your mind and reprogram your body. And those habits will build, and every day it will get clearer and clearer and easier and just more natural for those fulfilling thoughts, energy, intentions, and actions to come into play. So you are reprogramming yourself. So you can look up brain rehearsal. It's what the athletes use. So they're using all of their senses, all of their body, everything. Actually, they're in the moment of what they're wanting. It's powerful. So you can act it, you can be it physically, you can be it with your words, like your words that are in your head that nobody hears and the words that you speak. You can be in writing, you can be in visualization, you can be in how you're walking, what your posture is. You can do something with all of it to actually be the person you want to be and to live the life that you love, the wow life that you want. Another time this came into play was we were at Disneyworld in Florida, USA. Now, I'm from Australia, so that's quite a long flight, and we had planned to have 3 weeks at Disneyworld. Now, when we arrived, I was really, really sick. Like, I just felt like I was going to faint all the time. My body was just so unhappy. And here I was at Disney World with my husband and son, and I'm wanting to enjoy it. I'm not wanting to be at home sick. I wanted to be with my son, enjoying Disney World and having all these adventures and creating memories, like just amazing moments. And then the weather was quite humid and hot, and that was really making me want to faint. So I was walking around Disney World, just like spraying myself with a spray bottle, trying to get into any shade I could, just all sorts of things. But I remember this one day, plans we had for the day, and I was just thinking to myself, oh my goodness, how on earth am I going to do that? Like, I just seriously want to be in bed all day. I feel that sick. I feel like my body is just like breaking down. But I was just so wanting to be with my son for those experiences. So I just thought, that's it. I've heard about this, brain power. I've heard about reprogramming your mind. So it means I need to put it into practice. So I seriously, the whole day, like we would be sitting somewhere, and the whole day I was actually just continually telling myself what I wanted. So as an example, it would be like, I'm calm. I'm well. I'm cool, as in temperature cool. I'm safe. I feel great. I just kept programming. I just kept telling myself how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to be. Now, it means I still had the level of sickness there, but that is how I got through. That's how I managed to actually do the whole day and all of the activities with my husband and son at Disneyworld. That's how I broke through the pain and the suffering. I just kept focusing on what I wanted. I'm so thankful I did, because those of you who have been to Disneyworld, Disneyland, I've been to both of them, just amazing, absolutely amazing. And to have those memories with my son, that's just divine. Now, I do have a free guide on how to be the entrepreneur of your life, the 5 steps to entrepreneurial freedom. So it's not just talking about being an entrepreneur in life, it's about being the entrepreneur of your life, the leader of your life, designing your life. It's a free guide. It's the 5 steps. It's awesome. You can go to brilliantunstoppableyou.com and download it. Share it with your friends too. It seriously has the power to transform and for you to break through, to absolutely break through in life. So what happens when we focus on what we don't want? It means we're living in struggle. It means we're living like we're condemned, like we're limited, like we don't have a choice, like we don't have any freedom. It's not a nice place to be. It's not a happy place to be. It's a very disempowering place to be. Frustrating, annoying. I find it a really bewildering. I use the word bewildering. It's a bewildering place to be. It's a really defeated place to be. So if you don't know what you want, that's the first step. Think about what you want. Actually think about what you want, what's important to you. And then do as I've said as far as the actions you can take every day to focus on what you want. Fill yourself with what you want, your whole being with what you want, instead of what you don't want, and see your life transform. So as I've said, I've used it for my health. I've used it for career and money and freedom and lifestyle freedom. I've used it in so many circumstances, and it is truly life-changing.